The Record Customer Payment feature is located underneath the Accounts Receivable module, Record Payments. Here you can pull up the customer by customer ID or by company name. You also have the ability to sort it by either date or invoice number. You can enter in the payment date. We'll accept 6/2. We'll put in our payment amount, $250. We'll also put in a check number. Incidentally, that if the customer did not give us a check or we don't have a check number, we don't have to enter that in. The system automatically puts your user ID into entered by. Pay type. You can select any of your defined pay types. Here we have a customer default of check, but you could do wire transfer if you had that defined in your system, or cash or credit card as you see here. The description, you can enter in whatever you want, and this will print on the customer statement. Next, we have to indicate what it is we're applying the money to. To do that, you could either hit the letter A for auto apply on your keyboard, or you could use the mouse and you can click it. In this instance, if I did not want to pay that invoice, I could hit A again to remove the amount, and I can go down to an invoice, let's say over here, invoice number 1057, and I'll click it to use the $39, and then for the $210, I can either leave that in as an overpayment if I don't have an invoice to apply it to, or I can click on another invoice and it will actually apply the remaining amount or unused amount to that invoice balance. If there was not enough, it would not, if there was too much, it would leave some unused amount still. I'm going to take that off and leave an unused amount of $210 just to demonstrate that if we post a payment like this, we can actually have the system create for us an open credit. And it's asking us now, do we want to create an open credit since we then did not use up the full amount? I'll say yes, continue posting, yes. And once that is done posting, the 1057 invoice will now have a zero balance. And we're going to pull Joe's Wholesale back up again because we want to take a look at a few other items, and you can see the balance is now zero. Now let's say if they voided a check, or we want to void their customer payment, maybe it bounced or whatever, what we would do is we would re-enter in the check exactly the way that we entered it in originally, except we do a negative. So a negative $125, and we can put in the same check number. I actually don't remember what it was, so I'm just going to put in that, and everything is the same. Now for description, we can say void payment instead, and then for the amount applied, we want to go ahead and click on that $39 invoice to reinstate that balance. And we'll do, in this case, we have to actually type it in, negative $39.50. And then there's a unused balance of $85. Now, if you remember, we actually did it for $250, so let me change that, negative $250. Okay, and then we have that $210 there, and what we'll do is we'll scroll down to the bottom, and we'll put the $210 on here. That's the open credit that it created for us, and we'll put that in there to make that zero amount remaining zero, and then we can go ahead and post this payment. Incidentally, if we did have a discount when we're posting a payment, we can enter in that discount in the discount column, but we're going to go ahead and post this as is. And we'll just say yes to post it. It updates all the files, and now that invoice 1057 and the credit invoice will now have balances reinstated, or I should say the open credit will have a zero balance and the 1057 invoice balance will be reinstated. That does conclude this feature. However, keep in mind that once you record a payment, it doesn't actually go into your bank account. What it does, it goes into a deposit clearing account, and then via the bank reconciliation module, you need to tell Access Your Biz which payments were actually put into a deposit at the bank, so that you can do your bank reconciliation. And you can see here the $250 customer payments that we received. For more information on this feature, please see the video clip. And that concludes the Record Customer Payment feature.